I'm at Apple Park and I just got blown away. There's a ton of insane, amazing, and powerful features, so stick to the end of the video to see everything new coming to your phone because there's a lot. Okay, so right now I'm downloading iOS 18 beta, and this is a very interesting time for Apple because finally they're releasing their AI, and while they're definitely not the first on the AI trend, they seem to have done a lot, so let's take a look. So before I get into all the big Apple intelligence features, here are 4 quick ones that everyone has got to know about. So first up, we're all in group chats, and now what Apple has done is you'll be able to summarize your messages and emails. Secondly, there's now smart replies, so what this does is suggest replies to messages based on conversations you're busy having with someone. This is not new, but I'm glad it's on the iPhone. Thirdly, you can now text to Siri, so instead of having to talk to her all the time, you can just open up the text section at the bottom and literally ask her anything you want, plus she can do a bunch of new things, but we'll get to that later. Fourth is something Apple is calling Gen emojis, which is basically like AI-generated emojis that you can send as normal emojis or as stickers, but you can pretty much turn any idea into an emoji now, or Gen emoji. You can even emojify people you've tagged in photos and turn them into Gen emojis. Nothing groundbreaking, but this is all just the tip of the iceberg. So Siri has had a pretty big update, and she's kind of no longer a voice assistant, but rather looked at like a device assistant, and here are just a few of the new things she can do straight off the bat. She's got a kind of brand new look, where it's no longer just that little floating icon, instead it's got this wraparound glow on your screen, and I think it looks really good. But aside from her look, one of the biggest new features is when you talk to her, if you stutter or pause, she'll actually still be able to understand you with those kind of human-like mumbles that we have. This is definitely something I'm going to be testing, because how well exactly that works I'm not too sure yet. Then this one is kind of crazy, but she'll now also apparently be able to edit pictures for you, so you can just ask her how you'd like your photo to be edited, and apparently she'll be able to do it for you. And all of this can happen now because of something she can do called app awareness, so she'll literally be aware of the ACT you're in, and then you can ask her basically anything you want to do within that app. One thing you might be able to ask her to move photos from one app to another, and I'm not going to lie, if that's something we'll be able to do, that's epic. Apple also mentioned that if you ever need help with things like settings, for example, you can just ask her to help you, and she'll show you exactly what to do, which again is pretty nuts. So I'm not going to lie, I am really pumped about the new Siri, but whether it turns out to be as good as they say it is, or she can do as many things as they showed, that remains to be seen. But you guys will definitely have to stick around for my tips and tricks on that. But for now, there is still so much more I gotta show you. Okay, now this one is kind of fun. Another brand new AI feature you'll soon be able to do on the iPhone is actually generate images. Again, not new, but still cool. And what Apple's doing is taking words and turning them into images with something they're calling Image Playground, and this pretty much works the same as all other AI image generators where they use prompts to create images. So we've seen this before, but what we haven't seen is AI-generated images of people that you've tagged in the Photos app. Like, just imagine all your contacts turning into AI-generated images. Like, it's pretty wild. In total, there are 3 different style types you can choose from. So there's this sketch style, illustration style, and also animation style. So, I mean, it's a pretty sweet way to get super creative with your messages or even your notes, especially if you're a visual person like me. So for a company that's relatively late to the AI game, they are definitely giving the competition a run for their money, and I haven't even gotten to some of the really good bits yet. So just like everything else, the Messages app also got a massive update with some sick new normal features, but also a few new AI ones. For starters, there's new text effects, so they're pretty interesting and a lot of fun. Basically, if you need to highlight or accentuate a specific word, text effects can do that for you, and you get a few different options to manually pick from, and your iPhone will also automatically be able to suggest text effects for you based on your conversation. Again, all with the power of AI. Let me just take a breath. Another big update to the Messages app is RCS support. Wow, and this is a pretty big deal because, long story short, what this means is you can finally message anyone, even an Android phone, freely using Wi-Fi, just so long as the other person also has RCS enabled. So I guess this is pretty cool because you're no longer locked in from iPhone to iPhone, only you'll also soon be able to schedule your messages. This is a small feature, but nonetheless I really appreciate this one. Then the exciting stuff is in Apple's new writing AI tool that comes with 2 main features. Firstly, it'll be able to rewrite texts or notes for you anywhere in any app on the iPhone, so it can be in WhatsApp messages, emails, or even notes, and you can choose to rewrite based on its tone, or you can describe how you'd like it to be rewritten. And speaking of email, all your emails can now be summarized as well, so you can summarize long emails, and even normal emails will show up with a little summary in your inbox. I mean, I'm not going to lie, that's pretty cool. Okay, now this one is kind of hilarious, but honestly, I am just so glad it's finally here, even though it's such a small feature. I mean, Android people laughing in the corner, and that's the ability to edit your home screen icons like Androids had all the glory for so many years, but finally iPhone is on board, and believe it or not, it is possible that iPhone may have actually done it better than Android, so you can move and place app icons and widgets now wherever you want on the home screen. Nice. And even though that is such a small feature, it does make a big difference. But there's also dark mode app icons, which basically makes your icons a bit darker whenever you switch over from light mode to dark mode, and on top of that, you'll soon be able to customize the exact color of your app icons, so if you want them to be blue, green, yellow, or pink, whatever it is, you can literally have them that exact color, and I just freaking love this. So as you can imagine, this is going to take iPhone's customization to a whole another level, and while we've had this on Android for a while, it's just so good to finally have it on an iPhone. But enough about the customization of the home screen, let's move on to the control center. So the control center has been the same old thing for so many years until today. It has a bunch of new customization features, starting with control center pages, where you can find things like the main page, where all your normal tools are. Then there's a media page with your current playing media, or even a home control page. Gododam. There's also a control gallery, now very much like the widgets gallery, where you can pick out controls and add them to your control center page. There's a ton of different controls to pick from, and other apps can also now add their own controls to here as well. You can even customize the control size and exactly where you'd like them to be. That's a lot. So what's so great is now, just like your home screen can be totally customized, you can do the same with the control center and make it exactly the way you want it. The lock screen also got a tiny bit of customization as well, and that's the ability to actually change the corner app shortcuts to almost anything you want them to be. Why? Didn't they just make this sooner? So guys, I've actually been waiting for this feature for so long, and it's finally here. It is such a simple feature, but makes a big difference, and that is app locking. So yeah, with iOS 18, we'll now finally be able to lock any app from Safari to our photo apps, and even messages, just with Face ID. It's simple, it's easy, it's not overcomplicated like on Android, so thank you Apple. And to make it even better, we can now also hide apps from the app menu and the home screen. Like literally any app can be put in this new hidden folder inside the app menu, which again is locked away from prying eyes. So it's really starting to feel as though iPhones could become one of the safest phones in the world, if not the safest. So I mean, there's a lot of features coming to iOS 18, and that's only the top features. There's even more. Apple officially said that iOS 18, along with all the other features, should be coming out in fall, which historically is around the middle of September, so we don't have to wait that long, but it's still a bit more of a wait, although my beta did just finish downloading. But anyway, now that it's here, even though Apple was not the first with AI, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not innovating. They weren't the first to have cameras on their phones yet. Today, we all know the iPhone to have one of the best cameras in the world. They also weren't the first to have a user-friendly phone, but now they're known as having the most user-friendly phone, so they're not the first to have AI, but as you guys can see, they might just have the best AI on a phone. Thank you for watching video. Please subscribe for visit more videos. Bye.